Well, we've been feeling a little bit forgotten here in the middle of the island, haven't we? Especially by SouthShore12, who never really bothered covering the incident that happened on Sunday on the Long Island Railroad. They never even bothered covering it. They never sent a report. They never did anything. This video is two persons. We're gonna call them out, and we're gonna show you the great reporting that Channel 7 did on this. But yeah, you know, SouthShore12. Always gearing to those important people. Here they are in Wausau, living it up on... this is actually the same night that the incident happened, Sunday night. There they are, living it up in Wausau. Living it up in Rockville Center. These are the important people. Those are the people they gear to. They don't care about us. Oh, Moriches. Well, that gets 1 minute 37. That happened on the South Shore, of course. They don't care. They don't care. They barely covered that. They barely cover any of this. They barely cover... And it's funny, they'll go to Floral Park to cover this. They did actually cover this for 2 minutes. Floral Park man uses home for ghost guns, but they can't cover anything that impacts the main line. It's ridiculous. And of course, here we go. Fluff. Copiague. What else is new? Oh, that gets 1 minute and 46 seconds because it involves... Oh, they're the important people right there. But anyway... Let's talk about some real news here, and we're going to go to the Long Island here and show you the report from Channel 7, actually, that actually covered... They actually did a great job covering this, and I did share it, but I also do want to play it because I want to add my commentary.
A suspected drunk driver causes major problems on the Long Island Railroad.
Yeah, police say a man drove onto the tracks near the UBS Arena station on Sunday and continued driving on the tracks for about a half mile
where he got on.
to just east on the Belrose station.
He finally stopped after the car suffered some serious damage and caught fire.
And by the time it was over, it caused major damage to the tracks and delays for commuters. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo live in Elmont with more on this story. Anthony.
David, Sandra, it's a baffling story that brings two questions to mind.
Town.
One, how in the world was no one hurt? And two, how in the world did the driver get his car on the tracks to begin with? Well, for starters, MTA police say he was driving drunk when he decided to ride until the wheels fell off.
Yeah, well, you have to be drunk
literally.
to do something like that.
This was Sunday evening, as you mentioned, just before 5 o'clock on the LIRR. MTA police found the Honda Sport stopped on the mainline tracks between the Belrose and Floral Park stations. The driver could not make it any further after wrecking the front end of his vehicle, but he did manage to make it about a half a mile before two of his tires caught fire, all the while causing significant damage to the third rail and a myriad of train delays. Track workers had to use a hydraulic lift to pull the vehicle off the tracks. You can imagine the headache for LIRR riders. This took hours with repairs. The MTA says the driver got onto the tracks just west of the Elmont UBS Arena station from grade level. That means the car was able to access the tracks directly.
That's the same spot that I showed you. This spot right here. This spot right here. Same spot I showed you. I mean, how do they leave something like this wide open? After this incident, they better, like, put a gate here or something, because this was ridiculous. How do you not have any security gate or anything?
Land that is the same elevation. A secluded spot, I might add.
Secluded,
People
yeah,
we've spoken with who ride the
forgotten.
LIRR are simply shocked this was even possible.
This kind of things, like, is very embarrassing for, like, work, like being late or things like that, because
It's embarrassing for the railroad.
Delay. So yeah, it's very dangerous. So
I think that anything can happen. It's very weird, but it is unsettling. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
And if you were a passenger on the train, I mean,
yeah, what would you think about that? Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's baffling everybody we've spoken to tonight.
Whoa.
I flinched a little bit because actually...
You see what happened there? There was a really bad arc. I don't know if that was from the damp. This happens on the main line a lot. It's just shoddy. I don't think this is due to the damaging, but it's just shoddy. It happens especially on the Ronkonkoma line, where the trains just arc very violently sometimes because of inferior infrastructure. Of course, that does not happen on the Babylon branch because those, again, the people on the Babylon branch, they're important, so they get to have quality.
Train, I mean...
Yeah, what would you think about that? Absolutely.
It's baffling everybody we've spoken to tonight. I flinched a little bit because actually one of the trains just passing by us, some sparks flew up. So I'm not clear whether that has to do with some of the damage left behind
just
here.
crappy infrastructure.
MTA police have identified the driver in this situation as 40-year-old Basilio Hidalgo of Brooklyn. He was arrested at the scene and has been charged with criminal trespass, reckless endangerment, and also a DWI. The MTA is continuing to investigate how the car was able to make it onto the tracks in the first place. LIRR riders tell us the MTA needs to make that more difficult for drivers to be able to do.
Yeah, exactly.
We're live for now at the Elmont Station in Nassau County. Anthony Carr.
They really failed on this. I mean, how do you leave this
developments in the
wide open?
CEO murder investigation and
Well, I had it paused. How do you leave this wide open? How do you leave this wide open? Come on. I mean, this is wide open. You just drove right on. I mean, how? This is just not acceptable. This was waiting to happen. I didn't even know about this. I mean, this is just a mess. But this is what they think of us in the middle of the island. Like I said, we're not these people, so we don't matter. We're not these people. Sorry. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So let's go back to calling out SouthShore12 because they barely covered an attack in Middle Island. They barely covered it. 43 seconds, they didn't send a reporter.
High school student stabbed and his car stolen. And we have new information in this investigation tonight. Now, take a look here. Police say the teen was stabbed just after 1 p.m. near Ty Street and Sandra Court. That's about a third of a mile from the high school.
That is way too close to the Pine Barrens.
And police tell us a group approached the teen who dropped his keys after being stabbed with an unknown object. They say somebody picked up the keys, then drove off in the teen's Mazda. The Longwood superintendent says the teen returned to campus for help. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We're told police are patrolling in and around
How do you not send a reporter to that? I mean, that's like major news. No, we're going to cover a cat being shot at in Moriches over this. Right, because it happened in Moriches, and guess where the Moriches is? Well, that's on the South Shore where the important people live, right? So let's take a look and show you where this is. This is way too close to the Pine Barrens. Man, I'm telling you. I guess it's just another part of the plan. They're going to make the Pine Barrens dangerous. And it's all over, right? So here's Longwood High School. Right here. So this is the area it happened in. So Pine Barrens literally are not very far away. They're right over there. So, I mean, this is Ty. Yeah, Ty Street. Right here. Right on the street, right here. Yeah, this is where it happened. Yep. Ty Street. And this happened during the broad daylight, too. This happened during broad daylight, right? 1 p.m. Broad daylight on this street. I mean, it's by a road and everything. And this doesn't even look like a bad neighborhood at all. I mean, it's big homes in here and everything. What the F? It's the middle of the island, though. This is what you get. This is what you get to deal with here. I mean, it's unbelievable. Jeez. This is unbelievable. Right next to the high school, too. That's a big freaking deal right there. That's a big freaking deal, all right? Of course, News 12 doesn't think it's a big deal. Excuse me. SouthShore12, because we all know who they really cover. Let's see. Probably barely covered this, too. Let's see. No, they covered that. I'm surprised they covered that on licensed dentistry. It's like, we'll cover some crime, but we're not really going to talk about... I mean, they just cover a lot of fluff. Oh, Halloween slashing and centralized. Bet you they barely covered that, too. Yeah, 59 seconds. That happened back on Halloween.
Slashed another man on Halloween while wearing a Michael Myers mask. News 12's Logan Crawford shows us this latest scoop.
Well, at least they actually did cover this one.
Police are still searching for the person accused of slashing a man in the parking lot here at Hands Across Long Island, and they're asking for the public's help in making
This
an
is the
arrest.
kind of stuff that
Take
we
a
have to
look.
deal with in the
Police
middle of the
just
night.
released this photo of what they say is the incident. The picture is blurry, but right now this is all police are releasing to go off of. They say the victim was sitting in his car just after 4 p.m. on Halloween when the suspect threw the driver's side door
4
open
p.m.
and slashed him
Broad
in the chest
daylight.
and shoulder.
Again.
Police say the victim is an employee of the mental health group. The suspect is described as a light-skinned male, medium build, and was wearing a Michael Myers Halloween mask. The victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries, and police are offering a cash reward for any information.
So this is the kind of stuff that goes on here. This is the kind of stuff that goes on. Oh, made on Long Island. Oh, Moriches couple again. Yep, back to that. Yep, Long Beach. What else is new? 1 minute and 36 seconds. I'm not even playing it. I mean, it's just all about the South Shore. Mostly. It really is. It's just ridiculous. This network, this is what they gear to. They don't care about us in the middle of the island. They don't care. Once in a while, they'll throw us a bone or two, but, I mean, it's unbelievable. And I'm glad Channel 7 covered this incident with the car on the tracks, but, again, this broad daylight, again, even in broad daylight, you're not safe here. I mean, this is just way too close to the Pine Barrens. I mean, Cathedral Pines is not far away. I mean, you're starting to have problems in this area. Middle Island, now it's starting to bleed into Ridge. I mean, what's next, you know? Well, you know what it's all part of, so I think that's it. So, thanks for watching.